Namaste, everybody. This is Lisa A. Romano, the Breakthrough Life Coach. Thank you so much for showing up for today's presentation on how you can heal your life and essentially heal from codependency and what you can do to reclaim your life after sometimes a lifetime of narcissistic abuse. And it is my hope that by the end of this presentation, you understand the power of becoming true to thine own self. So as we move forward and get going, we can get this presentation on the road. So my name is Lisa Romano. Like I said earlier, I am the Breakthrough Life Coach. I am an author and a healer. I am the best-selling author of the book, The Road Back to Me, My Road Beyond the Codependent Divorce, Codependent Now What, and Quantum Tools to Help You Heal Your Life Now. I'm also the author of the 2 affirmation books, Loving the Self Affirmations 1 and 2. I am a YouTube vlogger, and many of you find me on YouTube. I have nearly 400 videos and over 100,000 subscribers, and over, at this point, I believe 11 million views, which is pretty cool. I'm also a meditation teacher on Insight Timer. Many of you find me on Insight Timer and then follow me over to Facebook or enter into one of my programs. So why are you here? Most often, people find me because they're tired of feeling invisible. They are tired of being pushed around by the people they love, and they are tired of not knowing how to set boundaries. Are you tired of feeling stuck, frozen, or numb? Well, I hope you are here because you want to take control over your life. I hope that you are here because you are tired of focusing on others. I hope you are here because you are ready to understand what is really going on in your life. I hope that you are here because you will do anything to heal from codependency and from narcissistic abuse. So, dear one, some things that we have to understand is that codependency is like carbon monoxide. You can't see it or smell it, but it is stealing life right out of you. Narcissistic abuse victims have been so abused they no longer trust themselves, their decisions, or their sense of reality. This is why it is so hard for them to make decisions that are in their best interests. Codependents and victims of narcissistic abuse doubt themselves. We live fractured lives and in the shadows of others. Healing can be extremely frightening and overwhelming, especially to a codependent or narcissistic abuse victim. So codependents have been conditioned to turn against themselves. Narcissistic abuse victims have had their realities distorted through gaslighting, minimizing, and constant invalidation. Healing is almost impossible for a codependent or narcissistic abuse victim because to heal, the being must learn to integrate the trauma and the emotions their abusers have conditioned them to believe are invalid. So codependents and people who are suffering from a lack of self, what we have to realize is that we have been conditioned through our lifetimes to not trust our perceptions of others. How does that happen? When we tell people how we feel and they tell us that we're crazy, or they tell us that we're over emotional, or they tell us that we're too sensitive. They say you can't take a joke. When people continue to invalidate our experiences, people that we trust, people that we have let our guard down around, people that we have been intimate with, people that we care about how they see us. And when our guard has been taken down and through a series of them sometimes manipulating our trust in them, and they begin to gaslight us, and they begin to make fun of us or call us names. When they begin to say, look at your mother, look, see how crazy she is, look what she's doing, look how she's acting, she's so selfish, she's so lazy, she's so this. Or, women do this to men too. There are women on the narcissistic spectrum, and they also can minimize a man and make him feel less than. And even though he's working hard to keep his family together, she will minimize him, mock him, and alike. And when this happens over time, we begin to doubt our reality. We begin to lose touch with our sense of what is going on. So we have been conditioned to people please. And in the process, we deny our painful experiences as well. We are conflicted. Do we honor them or do we honor ourselves? Many of us stay stuck inside relationship dynamics because We have been taught we have no right to feel what we feel. So how do you acknowledge that you've been abused if you've been taught that what you feel is irrelevant? So children who grow up with alcoholics, addicts, emotionally abusive, neglectful, and narcissistic parents are forced to live in a state of survival. This way of living robs the child of their right to grow up feeling connected to the divine self. They grow detached from the self and will suffer from self-alienation. Codependents and narcissistic abuse victims are self-alienated. Healing requires the release of toxic and negatively charged emotions, but self-alienated human beings evade, suppress, deny, repress, and simply do not know how to integrate their personal experiences. The fear of others' disapproval has caused them to psychologically flee and separate from the self. I want to show you the way out. When we have been conditioned to deny our emotions, to heal, we must learn to remove the obstacles that prevent integration. Much of our healing will take place at the subconscious level, which is why subconscious stimulation is critical to the healing process. Healing requires a conscious and intellectual understanding of what is happening on the subconscious level. Healing requires a unification of the conscious as well as the subconscious. Lisa, you taught me to accept what my psyche once refused to look at a conscious level. Your program is magic. This was from a member of my April 2016 breakthrough class who was having a very difficult time making conscious contact with things that happened to her in the past. I no longer fear my PTSD triggers. You have taught my subconscious and conscious mind to accept all facets of me, including my pain-laced memories. This program changed my life. This is another member of the April 2016 breakthrough coaching class that was suffering from severe PTSD triggers and symptoms. I had no clue that my problems were subconscious as well as conscious. Without your program, I do not believe I would have been able to heal from my past. You have found the true way to healing. I feel born again. This is from a member of my 2016 breakthrough class. This was a member who was in therapy for a very long time, and she kept going to therapist after therapist talking about her relationships, and she wasn't getting anywhere. And through the program, she realized that, you know, just talking and staying in the cerebral realm with cerebral therapists or psychologists or whatever does not heal what's really going on, because what has to be healed are the blocks that prevent us from touching and integrating what has been repressed in the subconscious mind. So healing from the past. Spontaneous healing is possible, but not without some form of integration between a painful event and conscious awareness. It requires us to learn how to learn to sit with our pain. It requires the ability to learn how to stop dissociating. It requires the ability to learn how to tap into how we feel, acknowledge how we feel, and to make decisions that are in alignment with our authentic self. Healing the past takes work. Healing cannot remain a cerebral experience. Healing must involve accessing stored painful emotions and a conscious appreciation for those wounds if self-healing is to take place. We must understand that the body is designed to absolutely heal itself. When you get a cut or you break a bone, you might go to the doctor, but it is your body that's doing the healing. A doctor can assist you, but your body is doing the healing. I believe that I've created a program that can help you heal yourself. So healing requires us to find our way back to this divine inner child. When we learn how, because it's not easy to do, but when we learn to see our pain, as well as the same time, feel and experience our pain without judging, fleeing, or freaking out over our pain, self-healing can and does take place. And in some cases, I've had people report to me through the program that this meditation, I don't know what happened, but there was a huge shift. It's like neural wiring gets unblocked, or chakras that have been blocked get unblocked. It's absolutely a miraculous process. When children are taught that their feelings do not matter, they grow up into adults that are absolutely disconnected from their authentic self. They simply see themselves the way they have been conditioned to. So this is because our mirror neurons, we are looking out into our communities. We are beings that absolutely are social. And we have mirror neurons, and the way our parents see us. So if we grow up feeling seen and not heard, then that becomes part of our programming. And so here is this amazing guidance system that is downloaded into our DNA, and we don't know how to use it. We don't know how to use it. We have the most amazing piece of technology ever, and we don't know how to use it. And I want to teach you how to use it. So human beings are 95% unconscious. Human beings are not taught to question the way they think. It's like handing a 6-year-old a Maserati and expecting this child to know how to drive it. We need to teach ourselves first how to operate our machinery. We have to know how to process these things called emotions. We have to know how to access higher brain function. If you do not understand or learn to appreciate what you have been taught to believe about your feelings, your worth, or about how to honor your unique experiences, you cannot live an integrated and fulfilling life. And what's really sad is that it's not your fault, but the nature of the mind is both subconscious and conscious. And if you don't wake up, you can live an entire lifetime like my parents have, and like I believe my siblings are, and so many people that I know, including friends and loved ones. You can go an entire lifetime not even knowing that your mind is 95% unconscious. And it's a freaky experience. It can be a very topsy-turvy freaking experience I remember that moment when I realized, oh my God, where have I been? Like, where have I been? I'm just recycling patterns that were downloaded into me. Where have I been? And the program that I've created has been spawned from those types of experiences. And I'm so honored to bring it to you. So victims fear fear. I mean, really think about that. When you're a victim, you fear fear. Healing requires that we learn to acknowledge our fears rather than to deny, suppress, dissociate, or psychologically run from them. And I can teach you how to do that so you can unblock and integrate. Codependents have been brainwashed. We all have. We are all products of our environments. Whatever is in the subconscious mind is not our fault. It is a product of our environments. And we as adults can take control over what has been downloaded and create new input. We can override the programs that are there and reprogram our minds. So codependents have been brainwashed to worry more about what others think about them than what they think about themselves. So you talk about completely bypassing your guidance system. This is how it gets done. When a child is taught to be seen and not heard, when a child is taught that they have to worry about mommy or daddy rather than themselves, because mommy and daddy don't show them any affection unless they're conforming, unless they're quiet, unless they're smiling on cue, children are literally being brainwashed to not feel their feelings. The innate fear of abandonment, all human beings have an innate fear of abandonment. It keeps us unconsciously stuck in people-pleasing behaviors, regardless of the emotional price we pay. The delicate blend of conscious as well as unconscious acceptance of our fears allows self-healing to take place, and sometimes at a very rapid pace. So people are like caterpillars. They are all born with the potential to fly, but only caterpillars who are willing to embrace the darkness and who surrender to the process of metamorphosis can ever learn to fly. I want to teach you how to go into the darkness and emerge a beautiful butterfly. When you learn to honor your truth, you can finally be the real you. So let's wake you up. So many of us are stuck in unconscious patterns, and until we wake up to how our brains are keeping us stuck, we simply stay asleep and stay stuck. Healing must be approached from a practical perspective. Many of us have gone into therapy and often only end up feeling worse. And this is because our problems are not only cognitive, they are chemical, they are psychological and neurological. If we ignore the subconscious mind and what has been stored in it, we may never heal. But what do I mean by practical? If your maple tree was not doing well, how would you approach healing that tree? In most cases, people would address all aspects of the tree and do what they could to heal the tree from the inside out. They would treat the soil, address the quality of the water being given to the tree, as well as other factors like sunlight, wind, and insects, mold, and bacteria. They would not, however, focus only on the soil or only on the amount of sunlight the tree was exposed to, or only on a leaf. They would understand that there was a systemic issue and that the environment was affecting the output or what was happening with the tree. But most therapy, and I can speak with confidence because I coach psychiatrists and psychologists, and I have been to at least 5 different therapists in my life, maybe 6. Most therapy focuses on the output or our reactions rather than on the input that created the output. I remember being in marriage counseling, and the marriage counseling counselor just wanted to talk about what happened Sunday morning. And this is not about what happened Sunday morning. This is about how we interact with one another. This is about our belief systems. This is about fear. This is about codependency. This is about he sees me as his mother and he is my mother, and maybe I am, to him, I represent his mother and he represents my mother. This is deep stuff. So we need to focus on what is creating our output. For example, we can focus on our anxiety, which is our output, or we can focus on what is causing the anxiety by understanding the input that is at the root of the output. It's going deep. Many abused adults feel like children in grown-up bodies, and that is not their fault. But the amazing news is, holy cow, we really can fix it. And I can speak with authority because I fixed my own life. I'm the queen of codependency, and I have attracted one narcissistic person into my life. And after my divorce from my covert, vulnerable, narcissistic husband, in my opinion, that's what he was, I attracted narcissistic men that were worse. They just kept getting worse. And finally, the last man that I attracted scared me so much that I knew, I was able to see that with all the years that I thought I knew something, and I had been studying codependency, there was still something that I wasn't seeing. And I went on a hiatus. I said, no more, I'm not dating, for like 2 years. And that's when I dug really, really deep. And I understood that I had a lot more work to do. I was the common denominator. And that's when I started to build this template that I'm sharing with all of you. And now today I live an amazing life. I live the career I've always wanted. I can work from anywhere in the world. Literally, I can work from anywhere in the world. I've attracted the most amazing man into my life. My children now see love as a model, whereas before they just saw dysfunction. And my life is truly, truly transformed. I'm healthy and I'm happy and I feel integrated and I feel fulfilled. And I want anybody out there who has been born to parents who have taught them that they're not enough, I want them to know that they can reach new heights and they can heal. I know it's scary to think about confronting issues and people, but this program can help you learn how to center, ground yourself, integrate. And then what happens is you're making choices and it's not so scary anymore because those toxic emotions have been cleared. So in 12 weeks, you will go from feeling full of self-doubt, fear, anxiety, and shame to a magnificent, self-loving, divine human being who has conquered their faulty beliefs. Life will expand for you in ways once you only dreamed of. That's my promise to you. So 12 weeks of specific layered lessons. Lisa, thank you for showing me how to commune with my inner child. Learning how to connect with her has taught me the value of listening and honoring my intuition. Now I feel more alive and real. Now I know how to honor what I feel, and that makes me feel real. And this is a member of the January 2017 Breakthrough class. So you get 3 modules, and they're specific to the integration process. So module 1 is about the awakening phase. I teach you everything that you need to know about your input and how you became who you became. And so we start to heal the shame, right? So now once the shame is healed, it's much easier to access the areas of our brain that we must learn to take accountability for, and that's module 2. So, and then module 3 is the ascension phase. Each module has 4 weeks of lessons, 4 weeks of meditations, and we'll move on now, and I'll tell you what's included in that. So it is time to heal once and for all. Don't wait a lifetime, or don't leave this lifetime without investigating the possibility of a soulful integration. You can do this. When we turn against the self, we deny our minds the ability to heal and integrate with the pain from the past. When we do not learn to be self-accepting, and that's a process, I have to teach you how to be self-accepting. We literally block our bodies and our minds' ability to integrate and become one. So, imagine if you had this deep wound on your arm and you refuse to let it heal. You just refuse to accept the scab that kept trying to form, and you just kept picking at it and you're literally blocking the body's ability to heal and integrate. You're literally your refusal to accept this aspect of healing will block your ability to heal. Your body, your mind, your heart, your soul has the ability to heal and to integrate, but our programs, the way that we think, our codependency, our trauma from the past is blocking our ability to self-heal. And I want to fix that for you, or I want to help you. I want to teach you how to fix that in yourself. So human beings are unaware that all that has been impressed upon the subconscious mind becomes the framework for future life experiences. Healing requires a huge shift in consciousness, and yes, in our brains as well. Narcissistic abuse, as well as other forms of abuse, causes a child to absolutely believe that they are unworthy. This sense of unworthiness induces shame and blocks the child's ability to grow into a self-actualized and fulfilled adult. So we have trauma and negative emotions, but also beliefs and vibrations and neural wiring that is blocking our body's natural ability to integrate. Human beings are complicated. We are not just our minds or our hearts. We are vibrational, chemical, and neurological too. And my program brings all of this together. If you don't address what is going on within you on a subconscious level, and you insist on healing only in the conscious realm, dear one, please don't think you're crazy if you don't ever get well. You're just not looking in the right place. You're not understanding the process by which you need to appreciate in order to integrate. But there is a huge problem. The brain is designed to run away from pain. So to heal, we have to find a way to hijack your brain's autonomic nervous system so you can travel to where you need to go, which is deep within. So if you think about a young girl who has been wounded and believes that she's unworthy, dad has made a few comments about her weight as she's growing up and as a teenager. So she has a neural association to being thin now. So she looks in the mirror and she associates pleasure with being thin. Now, every time she looks in the mirror, she'll have this fear of being overweight. And even if she's very thin, this poor young little girl will see someone who is overweight, which will drive her obsession to continue to starve herself, because the brain has been designed to run away from the pain. And what we don't understand is that there are unconscious beliefs that are running the show. So if you have an association with not being good enough because of your weight, then your brain will actually run towards losing weight to avoid the pain of not feeling good enough. I know this pain. I know this despair, and I know this fear. I'm somebody who suffered from every eating disorder there was, laxative abuse, exercise abuse, you name it, starving myself, binging. It was just a crazy experience. I've had obsessions with counting. I memorized license plates. I pulled my hair out. I counted letters in a sentence on my fingers. Everything had to end in an even number. You name it. I know this pain. I know how terrifying it is to consider becoming totally real and honest with the self when for your entire life you have been conditioned and brainwashed by the people you love to believe you are crazy, a liar, worthless, and over-emotional. Many of us believe we are so unworthy, we doubt we have a right to heal, because taking part in a program like this means we are finally taking ourselves seriously, and this can actually be a huge trigger. When I started taking me seriously, my ex did nothing but make fun of me, criticize me, and try to humiliate me in front of my children, but I stayed on the path anyway. So lots of people will avoid telling their truth because they know if they do, their husbands or their wives are going to start making fun of them or criticizing them, or their sister and brother are going to start making fun of them, or their parents are going to start making fun of them. You have to stay on the path anyway if any of this resonates with you. People who love you should be happy you are taking care of you. Anyone who marginalizes you, minimizes, or condemns you for looking within is abusing you. Unhealthy people are threatened by those who have found the courage to look within. They fear others who are finding their true self, because when we find our true self, we learn to hold others responsible for how they try to make us feel. So people who are abusing you, it's to their advantage to keep you stuck in the quicksand, because you'll never leave them. And they'll always have someone to blame and to abuse, and they'll never have to look within and deal with their own pain like you are. So narcissists will do just about anything to keep you from looking within. Narcissists find their sense of worth in how much adoration, attention, validation, and love you can offer them in spite of how little they give you in return. They actually get off on this. If you've been attracting narcissists into your life, the problem is inside of you. The problem is inside of you. It is not completely them. Yes, they are abusive, but the patterns within us are what we need to focus on. Validating the fact that you have been abused is crucial. This is very, very difficult for codependents and narcissistic abuse victims to say, I have been abused. It's hard to claim it because your whole life you've been taught that you don't have a right to your feelings. So validating the fact that, you have been abused is crucial to recovery, but we have to also never, ever forget that step 2 is figuring out what is within our control and what do we need to fix. So you must be able to spot an abuser and to learn how to set boundaries so you can protect yourself in the future. So many abuse victims fear being alone. The goal is to find out what is keeping a codependent stuck in fear of going within. Learning to no longer fear going within helps us integrate it, and it triggers self-healing, which is so exciting. But we've been taught to fear going within. So my program helps you understand that, come into alignment with that. And with the amazing support you get on the 12-week journey, you'll find it quite reassuring and even exciting to dig deep. Believe me, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. This is what happens. Until we face our own issues, we will continue to attract unhealthy people. And that's scary as all get out. Our lives improve when we learn to identify why we are codependent and how the dynamic is playing out in our lives today. Children who have grown up feeling ignored by those they love have subconsciously learned to believe they're not enough. And to escape that pain, they drink. To escape that pain, they dissociate. To escape that pain, they do drugs. To escape that pain, they, because they feel rejected, they'll join a gang or they'll hang out with people who aren't good for them just to help soothe that attachment trauma and that abandonment. But the truth is, you are good enough. The fact that you feel like you're not enough is a lie. You are enough, but your subconscious mind may not know that. Fear, shame, and guilt may be blocking your ability to live a full and satisfying life experience. Okay, so how can I help you? What can the 12-week Breakthrough Coaching Program do for you on the healing path? The 12-week Breakthrough Coaching Program can help you heal on all levels by stimulating your body and your mind's ability to self-heal. Learn how to set boundaries. Learn how to feel your feelings. Learn how to act upon your feeling in a healthy versus unhealthy way. Learn to say no when you mean no and yes when you mean yes. Learn how to get unstuck, stay motivated, find happiness, joy, peace, abundance, and love. Learn how to clear blocked energies and how to integrate your subconscious and conscious mind. Connect to the higher self and learn to heal the ego self. You will find and honor and love the inner child that is within you and is still within you. You will find and respect and understand the younger you. You will learn to think and feel in ways that honors your authentic self. You will learn how to break through and break free from subconscious and neurological programming of the past. You will learn how to create new healthy programs that empower you and your life. So how does the program work? If you have 30 to 40 minutes a day, I can help you shift. This is an integrative approach designed to gently stimulate and access the subconscious mind. Through gentle and loving videos and meditations, your subconscious mind begins to open and become stimulated to new and healthy concepts. Each week, you receive a new video lesson that has been designed to trigger the self-correction and self-healing processes that have been divinely downloaded into your DNA. Each week, you'll receive a meditation that has been recorded with brainwave frequencies that help make your subconscious mind more accepting of these new beliefs that are coming your way. You will receive transcripts of the meditation so you can read them and you'll be reinforcing them, not only listening to them. You will receive weekly journaling prompts to continue triggering the self-healing process. You will receive a weekly live stream via Facebook, and you will be able to ask me questions you may have about what you are learning. So Facebook has been quite a surprise and tremendous benefit to this program. When you become a Breakthrough member, you gain access to a secret group that is specific for your particular class. This is where you will interact with me, my team, and members of your class. Meditations must be done. Lots of people create content, and that is not what I do. I create tools and healing modalities that work. There's one thing, if anything, my frustration years ago when I learned that I was codependent, I was so frustrated because I found content, but I didn't find how to fix it. I found definitions, I found explanations, but there was no way that I could I could not find any book or anyone to tell me how to fix codependency. And codependency is very complicated. You can't scan it, you can't cut it out. It is the way you see the world. And the way you see the world is a result of how you have seen the world throughout your life. But the good news is that frustration really created a spark in me. And I knew that I wanted to one day help people figure out what I figured out. And that's why I write my books, and the way I write them is I'm trying to trigger your memory. I'm trying to spark something inside of you to get your mind to open up to what's really going on, because you can self-heal, and self-healing can be spontaneous. So people who are stuck are not thinking, they are ruminating. My programs shift your brain. It takes your power and places it on what you can control and removes it from focusing and ruminating on what it cannot control, which is what most people do, and they don't even realize they're doing it. It helps you literally change the way your mind operates. Staying in learning mode has been proven to help heal depression, anxiety, and rumination. The various ways I introduce new beliefs helps map your brain in an entirely new way. Your brain will learn best when it receives information in a variety of ways. You receive visual, auditory stimulation, and the learning you are doing is deepened through the journaling homework and written exercises. The community you gain also helps you heal the need for bonding, validation, acceptance, love, and the need to feel seen. Our tribe is an incredible, important dynamic of the healing path. The brain can only play with the tools that are in the shed. Your mind will run and operate the way it always has unless you change the way it operates. I will teach you how to observe your own subconscious mind so you can then fix the programs that are running it from a higher state of awareness. Now, my program does work, but you have to work the program. Members are referring to this program as the Holy Grail of Healing, and this is a psychotherapist who is actually taking my class. And to be totally real with you, I wasn't sure that this program was going to work. I knew my personal blueprint worked for me, but there was no way I could be positive it would work for others. But I am honored and overjoyed that people are healing with my blueprint. So these are just some of the people who have benefited from my program. So the people from, really interesting, over 200 countries have taken part in my program, and they're finally healing. And depending on what part of the country that you live in, very oftentimes you have to wait months and months and months, even just to talk to a therapist. And then you go to the therapist, you've got 30, 40 minutes to talk to a therapist, and you tell them that you think you're codependent, and sometimes they say, no, you're not, you're this, or you just have low self-esteem. So more, in many cases, more about what's going on with you than the people you're going to speak to. So it's very difficult to get the help that you need out there. People from Denmark, India, Finland, Australia, Moscow, Asia, Brazil, Germany, France, Belgium, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Korea, Alaska, Holland, Canada, London, Greece, and so many more countries have taken part in this program, and they're healing. So I encourage you to understand that regardless of where you live, this program can work for you. So these are just another testimonial from Tom from Alaska. Lisa had no idea how my childhood experiences had programmed me the way that they had. I had no idea I married my abusive mother. I had no idea I have been people pleasing and seeking the validation of my wife, which was really a mirror of the little boy in me who was still seeking the bond with my alcoholic mother. I have been in psychotherapy for 25 years, and no one ever mentioned my childhood or the fact that I was codependent in all of that time. You have given me my life back. I see the door and the light at the end of the tunnel. The journey is long, but now at least I have found the road back to me. Tom from Anchorage, Alaska. And these are the kinds of breakthroughs that people have through the written homeworks, through the triggering homeworks, through the meditations, through the videos, and through the bonding that takes place, in our class. Because I was raised in an upper middle class home in New York City, I didn't think I had a right to be unhappy. Even my therapist told me I was too sensitive. It wasn't until I took the 12-week breakthrough coaching program that you, Lisa, taught me to honor what I feel. We had everything a child could want, excluding love. And because we had all the shiny toys, my affluent parents believed my siblings and I were selfish for needing their love and approval too. This program saved my life. Thank you. That's from Samantha from New York City. This is very, very common. People who are raised by parents who give them things and they live in a nice house. If your parents are dissociated or detached or self-alienated, but they're under the illusion that they are successful and because they're prominent and they make lots of money, they're disconnected from their feeling self. And parents who are disconnected from their feeling self cannot connect to children on a feeling level. And this causes a child to not be able to feel connected to their selves. And my program helps correct that. So yes, I moderate and coach the program myself. This program is changing people's lives because it is teaching them what they need to change. You cannot fix a hole in the wall you cannot see. So I'm going to help you find those holes in the wall. Finally, a proven program that teaches people how to identify, heal, and get on with their lives. You do not have to stay stuck any longer. You have access to this program through my website and all of the PDFs, the videos, and meditations for a minimum of 3 years. You are a member of the Facebook group for life. All live streams will be recorded and accessible via Facebook for the life of the Facebook group. Upon graduation, you may join the Master Your Reality coaching program and continue expanding your consciousness and enhancing your personal growth. You will also be invited to join our 12-week Breakthrough Graduates Facebook page. I highly recommend cycling through the program 3 times the first 12 months, twice the second 12 months, and at least once in the 3rd year, because we're trying to reprogram your mind, right? We want all of these ideas to sink deep into the memory bank. We don't want it to stay in a short-term memory. We want it to be saturated into the long-term memory. So that's what I hope for you. I did not mention that when we launch, the first Saturday after we launch, I hold our first live stream via Facebook through your secret group at 9 a.m. One of the beautiful things I think about this program is the fact that you don't have to take it with the rest of your classmates. You can be in any part of the world, log into your dashboard, watch your video, do your meditation, download your PDFs, begin your writing homework. Anywhere in the world at any time of the day, you can log into your dashboard and go over your lessons, and you can watch them over and over and over and over. The only time that we're actually live together is on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's totally cool because they are archived and they are recorded inside Facebook, and you can watch the live streams whenever you like, as often as you like. You have access to this Facebook page and the 12 live streams that I will create with you for your specific class for life. That's an incredible value. You have access to my program for its price. However, you have access to it for a minimum of 3 years. So think about the value that you're getting, the fact that you can log into this dashboard, do these lessons, go onto Facebook, interact with people from your group. And not only your group, once you graduate, you get to integrate with all of the members, well, those who have agreed to take part in the Master 12-week Graduates class. So right now, for instance, people from all of the classes, separate classes, are now getting to know each other on Facebook through a larger group, and it's absolutely amazing. And I update to that master group. So once you graduate from this class, you'll then be ushered into the graduates class, and that's where I keep in touch with and keep members updated. So are you ready? Are you ready to dive deeper than you have been ever before? And are you committed to following the path we have laid out before you? And if you are, you can heal your life. So this is a picture of me when I was a little girl. I healed from my childhood, from feeling not good enough, from feeling in the way, from feeling like an obligation, from feeling unworthy. My mother used to use the word bad. You're a bad little girl, you know. And even in this picture, I can see the sadness in my eyes. Like, yeah, they're telling me to smile, but you know, this is a joke. I'm not a good little girl. And it's very sad. You know, I look at this little girl and I can remember what it felt like to really want my parents to see me and tell me that I was good enough. But it never came. But the good news is I healed this little girl. Now I take care of her. And I want to teach you how to take care of your inner child. So we got this. I am totally honored to assist you on your healing and integration journey. It's time to unblock. It's time to learn how to self-accept so that we can clear. Every human being deserves to know how to heal and move beyond the illusions that have kept man asleep and below the veil for centuries. And that includes you. And I don't care what you've done. Everything that we do is in response to something that has been done to us. And we've got to learn to heal that. So I truly bow to the love and the light that is in you. My name is Lisa Romano, the Breakthrough Life Coach. So you can register today. The next class begins on March 1st. You can go to this website. You can go to www.lisaaromano.com. You can click on 12-week program and you can learn more. And there is a 3-month payment plan as an option. We do accept PayPal and major credit cards. And thank you so much for being here today. I do bow to the love and the light that is absolutely in you. And I look forward to being your mentor, your leader, and your coach throughout this healing journey. Namaste.